This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you, beautiful people. Good morning to several people, except for the individuals that ruined last night's game with the Nuggets. A lot to get to today. Hey, no, glad to see y'all. Y'all could be watching any show. Y'all hanging out with us. It's the facility. Going to be a jam-packed show. Shady, why is the superstar phone out already?
It's already superstar line. Yeah, you know, listen, you want a superstar tape. Listen to me. I got y'all. No, they want to hear, you know what I mean? They say, yo, we need some Super Bowl comments today because you're a Super Bowl champ and you're a superstar.
Yeah. Hey, Shady is here to provide the superstar takes. James Jones, why are you here?
No, he's not. No, he's not. That boy, he be tripping. Some of his takes be BBs.
You will never see a BB from me.
For the record, BB stands for backups and bums. Apparently, we're in the backup and bum era.
Yes,
that's the quarterback to my left, Chase Daniel. While y'all were asleep, the craziest thing happened last night. The most impressive game of the season was ruined by the most inexcusable series of events. Nuggets up by 1. Westbrook blows a layup. It's 139-138. Then fouls the three-point shooter. The T-Wolves go on to win the game. They go.
Can you say it one more time?
Oh, I got you. Bring us on camera. I'm gonna just show. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down. Because I could not believe what happened yesterday. I could not believe what happened yesterday. I could not believe what happened yesterday. Run the tape. It's 20 seconds left. Westbrook's at the free throw line, big dog. They up by 1 at this point.
Bucket.
First free throw, wet, bucket, splash. Second free throw, we brick it. Not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing in the world yet. But now, we turn the ball over.
Great steal.
How you blow the layup, Westbrook? How you blow the layup? But here's the worst part. After he blows the Westbrook, hey, blow the layup. Get back. Please get back. Because what happened when you don't get back? When you don't get back, you want to know what happened? Now we foul up by 1. Now we foul a three-point shooter up by 1. I'm tired because I was working harder on this video than Westbrook was to get back. Nuggets lose. Jokic dropped 60. Jokic dropped 11. Jokic dropped 10. Here were Russ's options on that last buddy. Let's have class for a moment. Shady, can we have class? Yeah. James, can we have class? Chase, can we have class?
I'm here.
Viewers at home, option 1, dunk it, right? Just punch it. It's not a big deal. Shady said he could dunk.
Can he dunk?
Shady would have punched it. Number 2, just make the layup. Number 3, draw the foul. Number 4, just dribble that joint back out. Just dribble it back out. You want to know what option he chose? He didn't choose 1 because he didn't dunk it. He didn't choose 2 because he didn't make the layup. He definitely didn't choose 3 because he ain't draw the foul. And now he didn't bring it back out. Y'all want to know what he did? He chose 5. None of the above.
Oh, man.
That's what happened, Shady. That's what happened.
Yo, we need water on
I can believe it.
Very out of shape.
We need water on aisle 7.
That is
I could not
unbelievable.
believe that. That's the effort that should have been exerted after the blown layup. I truly was up at 10 o'clock last night because the game went into double overtime. And I was watching that joint, and I was shocked, appalled, flabbergasted, disgusted. I was in disbelief. And then after the game, Westbrook, he almost looked like he was about to get in a fight with somebody in the stands. He was jogging to the tunnel, heard something, stopped, looked back. Then he didn't take no questions from him. Oh, you got the video? Hold on, I'm telling y'all the whole story in case y'all was asleep. He run off the court. Hold on, here you go, Russ.
What's he going to do?
Russ like
Yeah. Russ ain't about them games.
So now,
going to the crowd?
Russ want to go fight somebody. Then after the game, he didn't take no questions from reporters.
Hey.
I could not believe it, Shady. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, James, you ever score like a long touchdown? You be tired? Or the oxygen, yo. We got oxygen back there. Get some oxygen.
No doubt.
Because my dog is done.
You're on the Stairmaster a lot. You need more of that.
Yo, it sounds like somebody lost the paper. I be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? He was that buddy start going crazy.
That's a lot.
But you're not gonna like this, Acho.
What happened to Bob?
But I play this game, right? Not basketball, but football. And sometimes, easy games, you win a game, and then you might fumble the ball. You might drop an easy pass. Saquon Barkley, the best player in football, in my opinion, right now. Falcons game, he dropped a 1-yard pass, like something like this, though, right? Dude, that's it.
That's what he did.
Oh,
whoa.
Hell no. Was he active?
Yes. You said Saquon. I didn't try to catch that ball. Did you see that?
Yo.
I'm helping your take.
Don't help my take.
I don't know. He dropped the ball.
On this show, if you drop a pass, you do push-ups.
Well, Saquon need to come up here because I'm doing the
Anyway, so and then Saquon lost that game, did he not?
He did.
A lot of times we watched the Chiefs. Dudes, when they won the last time they won the championship, had them losing games where guys are wide open, dropping passes. So that happens. And I'm not going to talk too bad about Westbrook because we know who he is.
You have to be honest about athletes. LeBron James gave us the freedom to, by the way, most recently last week. Hey, criticize me when I'm worthy of criticism and don't otherwise. You got to be honest. If Russell Westbrook would have missed a free throw, fine.
Yeah,
if Russell Westbrook even blows a layup, shouldn't happen, acceptable. But when you miss a free throw, then you blow the layup, then you foul the three-point shooter shading.
Yeah, but
that's like
sequence.
Fumbling on first down, y'all recover it. Then you drop the pass on second down, but you still got third down. Then you miss the pass protection on third down, quarterback gets sacked, fumbled, and then you lose the game. At that point in time, I got to address
That's what
it.
you took out of the game, though?
The whole game?
No, Jokic is a beast. But that last series of events, unfortunately,
all I'm saying is that when you're a great player and you have a couple of plays in a row, I'm not going to kill you for that.
Fair.
No.
Because I know this probably sequence of plays he messed up ain't going to happen for another 10, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Because he's that good. But players mess up. Yep. And I'm not going to blame him for that. You know what I mean? Because it's Westbrook. Like, what we talking about?
James, what'd you take out of it? Because obviously Jokic's performance, I do not want the last series
The score should have been a little wider than that, though, if you want to be technical.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about the last couple of plays and all that, but come on, man. If you really watch the game, they should have had a bigger lead than that, and you know that.
There's a couple things I took out of it. Number one, Joker is an animal.
Yes.
But number two, so is Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. They were up 16 points in that game.
Come on
that Timberwolves team, they go off their leader. It kind of reminds me of Kobe Bryant when I mean just mindset-wise. The Timberwolves are some dogs. They go off of their leader. They fought their way back in that game and ended up winning that game. And yes, you can say the sequence of Russell Westbrook, sure, but they were up 16. And Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves fought their way back in that game. I love the way they play basketball. That's one thing I took out of it. Obviously, Joker's a beast, but at the end of the day, Russ do got to finish that shot. But not only that, I would have loved to see, like you were stomping, Russell Westbrook got a famous stomp, too. I would love to see him flush that ball right there and do that Russell Westbrook stomp. The game is over, dog. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. But that was a great basketball game. The NBA say they ratings down and they want ratings. If that was your first game tuning in to watch a basketball game, you got a treat yesterday because that was a game.
Joker dropping 61, 10, and 10 is unbelievable. It's the most points in a triple-double in NBA history.
Unbelievable.
There's only been 3 60-point triple-doubles. My whole thing is, like, I believe the Nuggets are going to be tough out in the playoffs if Joker plays like this. But the difference between this Nuggets team and the one that won it 2 years ago, this team right here, it doesn't have depth. They don't have depth like they did a few years ago. In Minnesota, they're the 7th seed. They beat them 6 straight times, so they got their number. Yeah. But Joker has to play like they dropped all those points. He dropped a 61-point triple-double, and they still lost the game. So the Lakers, if I'm the Lakers today, I'm feeling good about that because the Lakers have beat up on the Nuggets the last 2 times, I believe. So my whole thing is like, dude, celebrate Joker, celebrate Ant, but this Nuggets team, Joker has to play like they still lost the game, and they were a 61-point triple-double.
What's crazy is highlighting the 61-point triple-double for a second because Jokic is top 3 in assists, top 3 in rebounds. He's top 3 in the league in points. I believe he might even be top 3 in the league in steals. Like, Jokic is top 3 in all of those major categories. Like, I do not want to, for a moment, take Jokic for granted. He is already building a resume to be a top 4 center of all time, I would suggest, with the likes of Kareem, with the likes of Shaq, with the likes of Hakeem. I believe that Jokic is the most offensively skilled center of all time. He's shooting 42% from 3. 42% from 3. Yeah. Again, I played basketball because of Hakeem. He's Nigerian. I wore the number 34 on the basketball court. Shaquille O'Neal is obviously Shaquille O'Neal. He was an imposing force. Hakeem probably had the most unstoppable shot in the history of the game of basketball. Kareem did. But with all that being said, Jokic is different. Like Jokic's ability to pass the ball is different. Jokic's ability to score from three is different. He's building a resume, right? I'm not saying he's better than any of them, so I'm not trying to get into a combat right now.
Them brothers is different too now.
They absolutely are. And Jokic still needs to win some more championships. And he really needs to win more championships because he's never going to be the defensive player that Akeem Olajuwon was. He's never going to be the defensive force that Shaquille O'Neal was. But what Jokic is doing and what he's capable of doing, I just want y'all to hear what Ant said. Forget what I'm saying about it. Listen to what Ant said after the game.
That might have been the best game of my life, like, that I've been a part of. Nikola Jokic, bro. Oh, my God. He might be the best basketball player I've ever seen, like, close up, besides myself, to myself. Bro, he's incredible, bro. We was just hoping he missed. It was at one point, we was just like, bro, we hope you missed.
To me, what I loved there was, like, at the point in which your opponent is saying we're just hoping, you mean like strategies out the window and you're just leaning on to hope. That's where I say, Jokic is
superstar player. Yes. But they were hoping them other dudes didn't get the ball.
I'm about to say that because and this block is about Jokic, so I'm gonna give him his credit because he's phenomenal. Like even when you look at him, you don't see this. You know what I mean? You don't see the pass and the assist. You don't see him rip the ball. Like you don't see them things until you see him play the game. But like it was some
not
great.
There yet. Of course.
Some great big ones because like. The same way probably they can't guard him, he can't guard them other dudes. Like Shaq is going to have 40 and 50s too if you're not going to be fouling him.
For sure.
And then Dream, right? Dream going to be doing all the pump fake, dribbling. So they all are in that category. But I will say this about him, though, and this is something like when I look at Steph Curry. It's like he makes everybody believe that, I can do that, right? When you see Jokic, like he look out of shape.
Yeah.
It don't like he can play the whole game and have 61 points. Right now, it's about how like he hobbles up the court, you know what I'm saying? So he gets the ball and he's making all these different plays. He's making the right plays, the no-look passes, the three-pointers, great from the free throw line. Like he does all these different things. That's why he's a special player. It's the same thing like Steph Curry. He makes everybody believe that I can do that. Yeah. The mailman, the teacher, because the way he's built, the way he looks. So he's super special, man. And then another thing about him is he had to grind. He wasn't no top 10, top 5 pick. He had to really go grind and go earn it though. So. I love what he's doing. Hopefully my Warriors see him in the playoffs and we shut that thing down. Ooh. Yeah, because you know how we do.
It's crazy. It's crazy because if you didn't watch the game and you just seen like the box scores and you're like, Nikola Jokic, you would think he was a 6'1" guard.
Yeah. So
you really would. Like when you watch Joker play, like this is a big man. You just said all that assist and steals, and like those are guard numbers, and this is a big man out behind the three-point line, shooting the ball at a high rate, right? He could post you up. He could take you down there. He's making every pass right. He's playing the game like a guard, and he's 7 feet tall. I think that's what's so impressive to me. Like, this dude will bring the ball up. He plays like he a young Steph Curry or something. Right. You know what I mean? If you looked at the box score, and then you turn the TV on, you're like, that's Joker?
Slow motion.
No, that ain't him. But that's how he plays. He's a special basketball player, man.
Can you find out Westbrook? That was a little extreme, man. We all make bad plays, and you don't act crazy.
You know,
I'll say several things. I'll say Russell Westbrook is a clear Hall of Famer. Yeah. Russell Westbrook is a top 75 player. Russell Westbrook is one of the most unique basketball players we've ever seen. And simultaneously, yesterday was completely inexcusable, completely unacceptable. And he knows
stand on it, brother.
Don't say that. Like, a lot of great players, fumble some games away.
Right, and that needs to be addressed.
But you ain't addressing like that. You was jumping around, flipping around. You was Harlem shaking. You was getting crazy.
Can we also address, if it's anybody in the NBA that plays hard every single game,
like Westbrook,
it's Russell Westbrook.
He play hard.
Effort-wise, it's not a question for me.
And Giannis, he said.
I don't know if he plays hard.
James, don't do this. I'll throw away the whole show. I'll throw away the whole show.
I'm doing it. I want to talk about Micah.
I'll come across this desk right now. You watch him out.
I tell my kids watch Russ, man.
You watch him out.
African brother, I like it, dog.
Bam! All right, moving on to the NFL. The craziest thing, James, crazier than what you just said, is what Jerry Jones has said. Jerry, if you watch nothing else today on sports television, watch this. Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons allegedly agreed to a contract yesterday, excluding Micah Parsons' agent. Micah Parsons then said, I'm not doing a deal without my agent. Jerry Jones then said some priceless things that I just want you to hear.
What'd he say?
As you know, it's not uncommon for me to negotiate directly with players, and I've done that. And so the agent is not a factor here or something to worry about. and I don't know his name. And so my point is that I'm not trying to demean him in any way, but this isn't about an agent. The agent doesn't have one thing to do with what we're doing when we get on the football field against a team. Micah does.
Okay.
Micah does.
Okay.
Micah does.
I don't know his name. That was funny, though.
Jerry's a
Wait, why Jerry whispering
Jerry's
like it's a
something
secret?
He's whispering.
Go ahead, Acho.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Sound off.
You got a lot
It ain't
to say.
bad. You act like either, though, dog.
Oh, it is.
You got a lot to say.
If you know Jerry Jones and if you know Micah Parsons' agent, it's about as dumb as a thing as Jerry Jones could have done. I don't know his name. His name, David Mulugeta, also Dawit.
best.
He's a Retrian. Dawit Mulugeta went to University of Texas, went to University of Nebraska for law school. That's who that is. Jerry Jones. Who that is a person that negotiated a fully guaranteed contract for Deshaun Watson that people are still chasing. Who that is a person that negotiated the deals for J.C. Horn and also Derek Stingley, the highest paid cornerbacks in the history of the National Football League. That's who that is, Jerry Jones. If you are unfamiliar with David Mulugeta, let me remind you who it is. Now, why, Jerry Jones, you will regret these comments is because you talked about Micah Parsons' family, and you don't ever talk about a person's family. David Mulugeta, Micah Parsons, they literally hashtag family ties on all of their posts together. That's athletes first. That's how they rock with each other. You do not come at somebody's family. Jerry Jones, when I tell you you will regret those comments, I promise you will regret those comments. Because at the end of the negotiation, it will probably end with, and now do you know my name? Click. You don't get into a ego contest with somebody you need something from, Jerry, and you need something from Micah. You need something from Micah, and you need something from his agent. You need their agreement. The dumbest thing Jerry Jones could have said, and truth be told, one of the dumbest things you can say to another man, particularly another man with an ego, and we all have egos, so to any man is, I don't even know his name. That's an insult upon all insults. Because now I got to do something to make you remember my name. You feel me? If I don't know your name, I got to do something for you to remember my name. Shady's told me a story. He's told several stories on this show, but one story that probably sticks with me the most. I believe it was the first time maybe he was playing Tom Brady. Shady, stop me when I'm wrong. First time he jogs out to the football field, he's a rookie. Tom Brady walks out to the tunnel. Tom! Shady walks out to the tunnel. Crickets. Shady said, oh, y'all don't know my name yet? Oh, y'all gonna remember my name. Yeah. And he goes on to have a Hall of Fame Philadelphia Eagles career. Yes. And that was a moment that Shady McCoy, the man to my right, points to. One of the most motivational and insulting things you can do to another elite individual is say, I don't know your name. Yeah. And Mulugeta is in charge with handling this negotiation. It's the dumbest thing Jerry Jones could have done.
And I disagree, right? Because you're talking about a player to an agent. And Mulugeta is the best in sports. He's the best agent in football, for sure. If I was playing today, and I love Drew Rose's house like I do, but David, where you at, dog? I need you, because he is that good. But wait, with Jerry Jones now, I think Jerry went off the top a little bit. Like, you ain't have to say I don't know your name, right? But then again, I do feel like sometimes, like, when you talk about egos, who has the ego here? Not the agent can't have no ego. I worked with Drew Rose's house when I was playing. And his thing was, the agents don't matter. The players matter. And he gets a bad rap for, I guess, his behavior, but he would say, listen, if Terrell Owens or Chad or these guys acting crazy, I'm going to take the bad rap because I'm the agent. My job is to keep you clean and me to get the deal done, right? So the ego part, they say that because your job is to get the best contract for your player. Mm-hmm. Okay, the second thing is, listen to Jerry Jones talk. First of all, you're looking at an older man that's a billionaire. So he's going to have a little ego with him. Mm-hmm. That's just how it works. And you're here for my money. I want you to play on my team, but you're here for my money. So it's like, they have these egos. This is how owners are. The other part I was thinking about is, when you're dealing with superstar players, should I grab my phone or y'all know where I'm coming from? Is that when you're dealing with contracts, a lot of times, sometimes the player talks to the head coach directly. Now, obviously, the agents are doing all the world work because the agent wants the biggest deal he can get for his client. But there's sometimes where head coach, hey, look, this deal, it ain't going to get done. It's going to string out longer than we want because your agent want this much, you want that much. Is there a way we can meet a ground level deal? And sometimes, because I've been there with a head coach, hey, look, Shade, I'll make you the highest paid running back. I'm going to give you this and a third. Now, but sometimes agents want to blow the contract out the water. You get what I'm saying? And now I got to sit through training camp and all that, and I might not want to do that. So I kind of get where Jerry's coming from. I probably want to direct it like that. I probably want to have a whole interview about it because Mike is a person that we really, really need and we really, really love. So I understand that. other part is, as the agent, I can't get too much involved with the ego part. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this interview shouldn't change the contract. What's going to go up another $6 million because you know my name? You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
That shouldn't matter at all.
I think it will.
And I think the best agent in the game is David for sure. And I think that him knowing that, he's going to get a good deal. He's going to get a blockbuster deal. He's going to get the highest paid non-quarterback deal because he deserves that, and he's that good of an agent. But we shouldn't let this thing blow out proportion because a lot of times in big contracts, it happens just like that.
So, Sadie, you've said a lot of smart things on this show.
Stuff I went through.
Smart things, though. This might be the smartest thing you've said because I could not agree with you more.
Every day, dog. I mean,
as soon as the agent thinks he matters, fire him. Fire them.
Well, don't fire David, though. David's the best. David's the best.
And I don't think David thinks as himself like that. I think he's a very humble guy who's the best in the game right now.
Yes.
Has clearly shown that. But I was on the NFL Players Association Board of Reps for 8 years. I was a voting rep. And I'm actually very pro-agent. There's a lot of players in the NFL that do not like agents because agents always look out for themselves first. How can I get into the news? And I'm not saying this is David. How can I make some more money so I can get paid more? The player is the one that matters. And exactly what Shady said. As soon as Jerry Jones decides that, hey, you have a $300 million contract, we're going to guarantee $175 million of it. You know where that $175 million guaranteed money has to go right away? Into the bank. Jerry Jones is writing a $175 million guaranteed check, and he's putting it into the bank. You're messing with a billionaire's money. I agree. He went over the top. I find it not a lot disrespectful to say you don't know his name, because I find that really hard to believe. But it's Jerry's money. And as soon as you write that check, that goes into the bank, because that's how these contracts are. It's called the funding rule. Okay, as soon as you write a guaranteed amount of money, it has to go in the bank. So Jerry Jones, if he guarantees $175 million, he is writing that check.
That's right.
And I do like that Micah has a direct line with Jerry, though. I do think that's really cool. I do think that just speaks to not only Jerry, but to Micah's superstar status. And I think that's smart. But as soon as an agent, in my opinion, if he is the one trying to do this and do that and get his name, it should be, and it should always be about the player.
Here's the problem, big dog. The problem with what I believe that's being said. Chase, if somebody came in one of your kids, you'd probably say so.
Yeah, of course.
Wife?
Definitely.
Why?
Because they're my actual family.
Sure. But to
your
your
job
culture,
to protect
actual,
them. It's
sure.
your job to protect them.
I can't suggest that some people differentiate between actual family and non-blood family. I think some people believe that non-blood family is just as close, if not closer, than family. And I would suggest that sometimes they're closer. Jerry came at Micah Parsons' family. Agents in this day and age, 2025, especially depending upon how you raised, your culture, all the things, agents act like father figures. Yeah. Agents act like mother figures. Agents who you call when you need to pick out a wedding ring. Agents who you call when you need to plan your surprise photo shoot. I know that. I know Athletes First. I know that agency. Agents who you need to call when you got baby mama drama. Agents who you need to call when you need to get a divorce. Agents is more than just an agent in this day and age. So Jerry coming at Micah Parsons' agent is Jerry coming at Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons even took to Twitter. I don't know, Colvin, do we have the tweet? Micah Parsons even took to Twitter yesterday to clear it all out. Yeah. Micah said, like, hey, dang, I don't even got my glasses on. So he said, David is the best, and I will not be doing any deal without him. Like anyone with good sense, I hired experts for a reason. Yeah. So with all that being said, no one I trust more, that speaks to family to me. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is, like, to insult the agent is to insult Micah. Jerry gonna regret that joint.
Number one, let's take it easy on Jerry a little bit.
Why,
James?
James?
Jerry's a little older. we all know older folks. They say what they want.
They
you know what I'm saying?
crazy stuff.
It ain't always the right thing, and you could have been like, hey, hey, man, you didn't have to say his name. You know, that's probably what they told him.
It doesn't have to be contentious.
But to me, I don't think this is a big deal. Jerry's really close with Micah. You can have conversations without Micah. I think the only thing here that really, like, sits with me is the agent's not a factor. And I think that's Jerry being a little older, like, man, I ain't worried about the agent. I ain't got to deal with it. But he's right, though. He doesn't deal with the agent. He has hired people in his organization that deal with the agent, so he don't have to talk to Mulugeta straight up and all that if he don't want to. He's hired dudes to do numbers. But Jerry Jones, you know for a fact that the agent matters or the deal is not going to get done. You need the agent a part of this to get the deal done. But Jerry Jones is okay. The deal will get done.
Yeah.
He's a little older. I'm not worried about it. I think the
amount.
best thing Shady said is take your feelings and all that out of it. Because don't you start trying to get more money and messing up something for Micah or something or holding this deal out a little bit longer and all that, you know what I mean? Because now with all that family stuff, hey, man, I talked to Jerry. He said they offered me blah, 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 and you trying to get blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Nah, man, you know what I'm saying? So don't let your ego, I know that, but don't let your ego and all that get involved to where maybe he's holding out in training camp or something because you're trying to get something else.
I think a statement will be made. That's all I'm suggesting.
Like some words?
See, and that's the problem.
Bro, you're talking about $41 million a year.
I think it's this. I think I stand up for my siblings more than I stand up for myself. I stand up for people I love more than I stand up for myself. So what I'm suggesting is if Micah feels like what Jerry said was offensive, which I think we all agree upon here that it was, it just will, it's not going to just go blow away.
This is a $1 billion business. Yeah. All that family stuff, I get all that. We trying to get millions, my man. We trying to get $200 million. Another thing is, this is like, and David can understand this, right? Because he had a lot of top players. So 2 things I'm going to say. One is, it does really stand with the player, not with the agent. Mm-hmm. There's guys that take terrible deals, right? Agent bring you a bad deal or agent bring you a good deal. Only one person can decide on that deal. That's the player. I've seen guys, why would you sign that deal, dog? I need the money. Simple as that. Or there's some dudes, you sign a great deal. That's the player has to decide on it. The second thing is, and when you get done, ask him this. When you're dealing with top-tier players, elite of the elite players, right, and they getting these big contracts, there's sometimes where we get in the room of negotiations, and I'm thinking, like, look, I'm the best player on the team, on the offense. I know I'm going to get my money. I'm going to kick my feet up because I know it should be an easy conversation, okay? Yeah. It never happens like that.
Never.
Why the hell, if it's that easy to get these type of deals, why do you think guys like Aaron, and I think Mike Parsons is a great player. He ain't Aaron Donald, okay? Why would a dude like him have to sit out? Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year. Why he have to sit out? T.J. Watt is all Pittsburgh Steelers. I watched them, they score 3 field goals, and he gets all the other touchdowns, and they win. Why would he have to sit out on training camp to get a deal done? Lamar Jackson
represents himself.
Why the hell, before he did that, before he represented himself, why the hell did he have to sit out and wait to see what's going on with the money? What I'm saying is, when you get into negotiations, it's a negotiation, okay? It's me against you. I want to pay you, and I want you on my team. You want to be on my team. You want to get paid. I'm trying to pay you your value, but not as much as you want. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Win the deal.
Because I remember a lot of players, you can ask your agent where sometimes, like, okay, they started nitpicking at things. Well, you know, Shady's not always on time. I want to be more of a leader.
That's so true.
My agent like, wait, dog. I mean, he's all pro. He's this, that. It happens like that. And then you go on and look at this. They always, and then another thing they do, they try to keep everything separate from the player sometimes, right? I don't know if the relationship is great with the player and the management, but if it's not, they don't want the players to be involved with it because you're going to say some things that might offend the player. Yeah, man, well, you know, sometimes on third down, he don't really block that way.
They don't want it to be contentious.
But all that is negotiation. The last thing is this. And once this thing is done, and Micah signs for that $200-something million, the most highest paid non-quarterback, all that ego stuff's out the window. Jerry, Micah, they're going to hug it out. And nobody cares at the end of the day.
And Mulligattor.
All that stuff Jerry said, once they sign that down the line, you're going to see David Mulligattor at the Cowboys Stadium flicking up because he'll fly young brother too. Know why? And everybody going to be happy.
And you know why? Because if he signs a $200 million deal, you know what?
Come on, man.
He's getting $6 million of that deal. Yeah, so he's going to be happy. No statement's going to be made.
I don't think he needs it, bro.
Don't be returned.
You don't need $6 million. What are you?
Now he's Jerry Jones money.
He's a billionaire.
Hey, we'll tell you if we expect Russell Wilson to stay Brian Daboll's job. That's next in the facility. Don't forget, you can check us out every day, Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM.
It be like that now. Me like, wait, you don't need $6 million? They said, what?
Hey, Russell Wilson said he expects to be the starter for the Giants. Remember, he signed a $10.5 million deal, fully guaranteed. That's Russell Wilson and his wife, superstar Ciara, showing up, meeting Brian Daboll when they first signed the deal. Daboll's happy. Russ is happy. Take a listen.
Well, he makes good decisions with the football. He's athletic. He's a little bit older, so he's maybe not as athletic in 13 and 14, but certainly has ability to use his leg, extend plays, create explosive plays. Phenomenal deep ball thrower. Has created a bunch of explosive plays and scoring points for his team, and does a good job of making good decisions with the football.
Brian Daboll, 9 wins his first year in New York, 6 wins his second year in New York. Problem, just 3 wins his last year in New York. Trajectory-wise, it's getting worse. He's on the hot seat. Finished last year 3-14. Many suggested he was on the verge of getting fired, but they kept him. What that means, though, is Brian Daboll's job potentially needs saving. Shady McCoy, after everything Daboll has been through, 9 wins, 6 wins, 3 wins, but Daniel Jones, now you got a future Hall of Famer in Russ. Do you expect Russ to save his job?
I think Russ and Daboll together will save his job, right? Now you get a guy like Daniel Jones out the building, like far away from New York. Now you can do some things at quarterback. I think Russ doesn't get enough credit for the way he played last year because he played well, right? I think the defense let him down a little bit for the Steelers. And the running game, the offensive line was bad. I think with an offensive-minded coach, sometimes you can kind of hide some of them flaws on the offensive line, right? You can hide some of that. Sometimes, and they got a solid running game, right? I also think that with Daboll, you'll see some of the things you've seen with Daniel Jones. When he did look good, the few games he looked good, a lot of it was Daboll. Put him in position to win. It's not a coincidence that this guy won rookie or coach of the year his rookie season because he's that good of a coach. And I think Russ has a lot more in the tank than people give him credit for. And we're going to see it. So I'm just anxious to see. I do think they save their job. Now, you are in probably the hardest division in football, one of them, and that's going to be tough. But I think Daboll will show some fight to keep his job. And that's not saying they're going to go out there and win 10, 11 games. But I think you're going to show enough that, hey, they can still manage with this team, and Daboll give them some more players in there, and then for the future.
Do we think the Giants are going to make the playoffs this year, yes or no?
I don't think so.
Not right now, no.
Nah, not the playoffs.
Then I don't think anyone can save Daboll's job if they don't make the playoffs. I think Russ gives them the best chance of the veterans out there other than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron didn't want to go to the Giants. They signed Russ. I think it's a smart move. You sign Jameis just in case Russ gets hurt. I don't think they're going to pick a guy at number 3 that is going to lead them to the playoffs. So in my opinion, if they don't make the playoffs, which I don't think they can because like Shady so expertly said, they are in a very difficult division. And quite honestly, you have the Commanders and you have the Eagles above them, and then you have the Cowboys, and then you have the Giants. Let's try to get out of our division first. Look, I like what Russ has to offer. And I think Daboll said it perfectly. The deep ball is there. Darius Slayton fast. Malik Neighbors fast. Travis Hunter, who I think you should take at number 3, fast. I do think they have some weapons. Yeah. So I do think they have some weapons. But this offensive line last year ranked 23rd in the NFL. It was the same offensive line, similar ranking, giving up sacks as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's not going to some great offensive line where he's going to have all the time back there. And if you look at how he's played later on in his career, he's been more of a pocket passer. Even Daboll said, hey, it's not 2013, it's not 2014, where Russ is looking at one read and scrambling and making all these crazy plays. Okay, that's 12 years ago. This is now, and I think that Russ has done a good job within the pocket, but I just don't know if they have enough weapons. Like, I think Russ is going to have a good year. Like, if Russ throws for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns, I think it's a really good year. I think he's proven that maybe not with the Giants he can continue to play, but to save the Giants' job, man, that is a tall task at hand. So my answer is absolutely not right now.
My answer is yes. I like what Russ brings to the table. I think Russ is the best quarterback the Giants have had in a very, 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 very long time. And with Brian Daboll, I think they can accomplish some good things. If you was to ask that question, Brian Daboll's rookie year as a season when he won Coach of the Year, unanimous would have been no of making the playoffs, right? But nobody knows how the season is going to go. What I do know is they do have a lot of speed on offense. Yeah, they do have a really good number 1 wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. They do have a legit running back in the backfield. Their offensive line is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just had quarterbacks that was holding the ball and did not know where they was going to go with the ball. One thing Russ can still do, even though he's older, he might not be moving as fast as he was moving, but Russell Wilson can still extend plays. Chase, you know best. Shady, you know best. Acho, you know best playing defense. This game is about off-schedule plays. It's very, very rare that your offensive play caller is going to say, boom, 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 and the play works to perfection. No, you have to be able to extend plays. Russ gives you that opportunity. The Giants will be a much better football team. Wins-wise, what number does that mean? I don't know. But with Russell Wilson, they will be a much better football team. They have really good players on the defensive side of the ball, especially that defensive line. And with Travis Hunter, I think this team can really surprise some people.
A much better football team. What's the over-under on wins for you? Like, if I say 7 wins.
I'm going over. I think they get to 9. I think they get to 9. They're 4th in the division. They're going to have the 4th easiest schedule in that division because they play the worst teams in every division. I think they can get to 9 wins. I don't know what that means.
I want to ask you this, though, because if I ask you, do you think they have a really good coach?
I do.
You think you say yes? What would you say?
Really good coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
You would say yes?
Offensive-minded, for sure.
So my thing is, okay, so that's one part, right? Check. Because it's hard to get a good coach in this league. The same way it's hard to get a good quarterback, it's hard to get a good coach. So you have a good coach right there, boom, right? Do you have a coach that can help the quarterbacks? That's another thing people care about.
Absolutely.
Good coach can help the quarterback, okay?
One of the best to help the quarterback.
Better than he was at Pittsburgh with Tomlin.
Okay, right. And last year, Russ had 18 touchdowns and 5 picks, and he didn't start the whole season. I want to just bring this point to y'all because I started thinking about, okay, what are some of the other coaches that had a short tender, that got fired, right? I started thinking about, I went to the Chicago Bears, right?
Yeah.
I look at what they had over there. I go to the Jets. Salah with the Jets. Eaglefuss, your boy.
Yeah.
Right? I look at what he had over there. Yeah. And the reason why I feel like these guys got fired is because they couldn't coach the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like
Defensive head coaches.
Defensive head coach, you can't coach quarterbacks. And why would I keep you if you can't coach quarterbacks when that's the most important position in football? Brian Daboll has that. I think if you could add some more pieces to that team, because that team is not that talented.
No.
I don't care who the coach over there. Andy Reid could change some of it around, but it's going to be tough for him too because the team is so bad. You get what I'm saying?
That's where
that matters,
I'm not
though.
really down on the Giants roster.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell you think they're going to win 9 games, James Jones.
I don't think they're super talented, but they're more talented than we think. Their defensive line is phenomenal. You got an all-pro D tackle. You got 2 really good pass rushers.
Great D-line.
Keep going.
You just signed a really good safety to come over there in Holland. They have pieces on this. I'm not saying they're a super roster, but what I'm saying is to compete with Russell Wilson, they have a solid roster.
Here's the other problem nobody's talking about.
Oh, tell us.
The Giants have to play the NFC East. Thus, the Giants have to play the NFC North this year. Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears, maybe the toughest division in football. And they also have to play the AFC West this year.
Yeah, good luck.
Chiefs,
9 wins.
Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Nah, James.
So maybe the 2 best divisions in football, the AFC,
Broncos,
NFC,
Ravens,
real quick.
Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
I'm saying real quick. The NFC North, I think, put 3 teams in the playoffs last year, I think. The AFC West, I think, put 3 teams in the playoffs
Broncos,
last year.
Chargers.
So you got to play 2 divisions that put 3 teams each in the playoffs last year, not counting your own division. That put 2 teams in the NFC Championship game last year.
Well,
it's still young quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy.
I'm just saying, only thing I'm saying, because it's hard to project wins, so I only think it's going to be like 6 or 7. But you have to, their road isn't easy. You got to play the Eagles twice, the Commanders
But
twice.
division games are tricky.
They are.
You stay. It sounds like you should win and you lose.
Sure, but the Cowboys beat the Giants 11 straight times, so they're not that tricky. But I do think to some degree they're tricky. But you also got to play the Chiefs. You got to play.
And that's it. That's it.
Yeah, because
that's the only team.
We're not saying guarantee win Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos.
Raiders. But James, the Giants are bad. I'm not going to act like they're good. Giants are 3 wins last year. They're terrible. The only thing of substance they've added this offseason, someone correct me if I'm wrong, Javon Holland at safety
really good.
and Russell Wilson.
Who's good, too.
Sure, but that's not going to take you from 3-14 to 10-7.
But not only that, but I'm saying, what do we think the Broncos was going to be last year? What do we think the Chargers was going to be? They was coming off of terrible years. Nobody would have said they was going to the playoffs.
Sure. I would have said that. No.
So you understand what I'm saying? So, they're going
to be in the mix. I'm just saying they're going to be in the mix. Can we say that? Or you don't feel like that?
I don't think they will. And that's what I was going to say.
They're bad.
They were 3-14 last year. Do we think that Russell Wilson
is worthy of 7 wins?
7 more wins?
They're bad.
7 more?
James, they're not the Eagles.
How are you?
I don't even know what he's saying.
The Eagles are on a different level.
They're not the Commanders. How are you saying they're not that bad?
I can see them slipping up and beating the Commanders.
As it pertains to defensively, we look at threats. Who's a threat? Who scares you?
Malik Neighbors scares you.
The only person that scares you. The only person. Tracy's a good player, kind of. He's a good player, kind of. Jalen Hyatt's fast. He's fast.
A lot of young, unproven guys. I would say that.
Only one person scares you. Malik Neighbors. That is it.
How many people on the offense scares you?
On the Eagles, 3 of them. On the Lions, 3 of them. At least 2 of them.
Talking elite teams.
The Broncos.
On the Commanders, Chargers scares you.
Who on the Chargers scares you?
James, I'm talking at least about the NFC, bro. Nobody there scares you but Malik. That's
you must know something
Who
we don't know.
Who on the Dallas Cowboys scares you other than
CD? But the Cowboys aren't good either. That's my point. They're not good either.
James holding himself down in court, though.
They're not good either.
How is he holding himself?
The joint don't know what's going on right there. It was looking good.
All I'm saying is we acting like the Giants don't have talent. They have a bona fide number 1. and they have 2 really good number wide receivers. They have a solid running back that's up and coming, can catch and run.
All that had 3 wins. They're bad. They're bad.
The quarterback play, though.
The Giants are bad. They're not as good.
Not all the quarterback. Did we watch Drew Lock and them boys and Danny DeVito and all them boys last year?
Yo, James has sold me, dog. I'm with it. Hey, Giants playoffs?
Quarterback play made the defense.
Playoffs?
They got more than 9.
That's right.
I will bet $1,000 each. And you
know what? I'm going to go and say it. I'm going to say it.
It's going to help the defense.
Are they going further than Broncos?
Bet good?
I'll take that bet.
I'll take that bet.
No.
Giants harder than the Broncos.
$1,000. I'll bet you right now.
Well, playoffs is tough. 9 wins? I bet you 9 wins.
Playoffs.
No.
That's the only way to save the job.
You and Nacho said they won't get to 6 wins. You ain't going to take 9 wins?
Set the over-under at 7.
So 9.
Let's take it. I'll take that.
I take 9.
They're going to get 8 wins
right now.
They're going to get 8 wins.
They're not getting 9.
Bet?
Yeah.
1,000. Playoff.
1,000's not worth it.
Good bet.
Put 5
Good bet, James. Good bet, James. Good bet, James. Hey, James, good bet, boy.
I'm going to win my money.
Brock Purdy waiting on a huge contract extension. People, if you thought the show was good thus far, it's about to get even better. Go ahead and text your friends. Tell them fireworks are on the way, and it's not even July 4th. Hey, Purdy wants Dak Prescott money. Hey, the Niners don't necessarily want to give it to him. But yesterday, the team owner, Jed York, he kept it all positive. Take a listen.
I think he is. I think he's great. Mm-hmm. And especially when you combine him with Kyle and you combine him with what we have, he's a heck of a quarterback. And want him to be here for a long, long time.
What did he say?
Combine them
He said he's
Kyle
great. Uh-oh.
and combine them with our team.
I'm sorry. Oh, we're live? I'm sorry. That was what the owner was saying. I just want to take the... Sorry about that.
Chase, it's on you. Do you agree that he's a top 10 quarterback? He's great, Brock Purdy.
This is a very interesting and elevated conversation that we not only are going to have right now, but we had a very spirited conversation in our pregame meeting. Yes, I do. I agree that Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback. And when you look at top 10 quarterbacks, I just want to just purely, for right now, before I get into this graphic, I want to show you. The top 10 quarterbacks in the league are the top 31% of the quarterbacks in the league. So Brock Purdy, in my opinion, is in the top 31% of quarterbacks in the league. Let's show the graphic. So I did tiers. This is not in order. We wanted faces up there. Okay, so tier 1. Tier 1 to me is like, you can put the team on your back time and time again. You are a truly elite talent thrower of the football. We can all agree these 4 guys, at least I think we can agree. We don't agree on much these days. That
is true.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson are in the tier by themselves. I was struggling maybe Matthew Stafford, but this is what I probably agree.
What about that Jalen?
No.
What about Jaden?
You're messing up my take. Okay. So you're messing up my take. So those 4, and maybe Stafford, right? But I just said those 4 right now are without a doubt, in most people's and GM's opinion, that's the tier 1. And then here, I have 12 total. So we're talking top 10. For me, you look at the next tier. This is not in order. Do not freak out. I want to make sure we understand this. Shady, especially you. Okay, Herbert, Stafford, Goff. I do believe Jaden Daniels is in that next tier. Okay, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, C.J. Stroud. Now, when you're looking at those second tier of guys, is it glaringly obvious that Purdy doesn't belong with that group of guys? Like glaringly from just looking at this, does he not belong in that category to you guys?
A couple dudes missing over there.
Yeah. No, not to me.
It's not glaring.
Not glaring,
right? And I think for me to get this list down to a top 10, it's like, okay, where does Purdy fit in that area? To me, I think I'm taking out Dak and I think I'm taking out C.J. Stroud, right? And I think you can slide Purdy into that. Now, let me just get to the whole point of why I think that Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback. Okay, QBs, and this is what everyone up here is going to say because I'm already ready for it. QBs are supposed to run the system of the head coach. People think, and a lot of people out there think, that labeling quarterbacks as a system quarterback is bad. Every head coach I have been with that is going to go into the Hall of Fame, Andy Reid and Sean Payton, okay, played with them, been in their quarterback meetings. They want their quarterbacks to be system quarterbacks. you have to be really good at running the system at which it's deployed. And I think that's what Brock Purdy is good at. I don't think there's, can Brock lead this team to that? No, Brock is on the San Francisco 49ers for a reason, and they picked Brock Purdy above their number 3 pick in Trey Lance to run it. They're going to pay him close to $55 million a year. So if it really means you run the system and you run it really well, to me, that's what matters. He runs it at a really high level, and quite honestly, he's still got to go out there and make the throws that he needs to make day in and day out.
You on the left side? You know, left side of the table. Left side of the table. I'm being respectful. Hey, real quick before we go, can Scouts honor? Can we all? Because you already went. Us 3. Can we all say we're gonna be honest here?
Yeah. Is it right here?
Yeah. Yes, I will. Scouts honor. Well, you already went.
Just Mockingjay?
I don't know what that is. Well, do you all agree to be honest?
Honest.
Okay. I hereby agree to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Me too. Okay.
Your
go
truth.
ahead, James.
Your truth.
Go ahead, James. Hey, great take.
All right,
great
so
take. Great take.
There is absolutely nothing against Brock Purdy up here.
At all.
We all believe Brock Purdy's a good quarterback in the National Football League. Now, if this was top 10 quarterback combined with everything you have, I would say Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback, combined with everything you have, the coach, everything around you and all that. But you guys help me here, all right? Because when I do special players, elite players, top 10 players and all that, I go off of what if this dude was on the worst team in football?
Ooh.
If Brock Purdy was on the worst team in football, is it 10 quarterbacks in the National Football League that you will take over Brock Purdy? My answer is yes. And you didn't have the Jordan Loves up there. You didn't have a lot of good quarterbacks up there that I believe that I would take over Brock Purdy if my team was terrible. Now, if you're talking about a dude in a system, running a system to perfection, that is the Jimmy G's and that is the Brock Purdy's. And I'm sure Jimmy G wouldn't be on none of y'all's list up there, but Jimmy G has been to the Super Bowl.
Yes, he has.
Jimmy G has been to NFC Championship because what the owner just said, combined with Cal Shanahan, combined with everything they had over there. So it's nothing against Purdy, but when you ask me top 10 quarterback, I go off of if you're on the worst team. And we always talk about 7th round draft pick and all that type stuff. I don't really care nothing about that. But the main thing I do care about is every coach got to see this dude in pads and a helmet. And every coach got to see this dude in shorts and shirts, throw the football, run, look the way he's supposed to look. And we say this draft class week, Brock Purdy's draft class. Oh, my God. I mean, the top quarterback was Kenny Pickett.
No way.
Then it was Desmond Ritter, Malik Willis, Matt Carroll, Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell, Skylar Thompson. Oh, my God.
God, it's good. God, it's so good. He blessed the boys. Oh, my
and
God.
they picked him the last quarterback out of all them dudes, which let me know talent-wise it don't scream off at you. Throwing the football don't scream off at you. Has he been blessed? Has he gotten better? Absolutely. He's turned into a really good player because of coach, system, and players around him. But top 10 to me, once again, I will say, is if you are on the worst team in football, are you taking Brock Purdy ahead of 10 quarterbacks? You're probably not.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. That was a great take. Everything I wanted to say, you said it perfectly. And you did the Scots out. It was honest.
Real quick before you go. So it was.
We got to chase. We got to go chase. I
don't know where
because you had Jordan
Love.
Love.
Go, man.
I added Jordan Love to this. Just
I'm
so
Jordan Love's definitely.
So Brock Purdy's top 13. Okay, so 3. So
well, top 10. He's not the top. So the answer is no. He's not the top 10. I'm gonna say no as well. But the first thing you said I did like, you said we all love Brock Purdy on the show. And real quick for all the viewers out there, right? Because I think I'd be hating on some players, and I don't. You could be a really, really good player and not be elite. You could be a really good player and not be top 10. There's nothing wrong with that. There's more players that's not top 10 in their position than there is. You get what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's get to it, though. So everything James said, I'm going to add this a little more because that was great. But when I look at Brock Purdy, so I went all the way back to college, though, because I had to get this thing right because I know Chase was going to come support this brother. So I had to really come prepared. And I started looking like, do you ever see players in college that have all these great stats, all these great passing yards, all these great rushing touch, all this great stuff? And then the guys like Hawaii quarterbacks, the guys like, I won't get into the T-Bowls now, but a lot of guys that put a lot of stats up, the Texas Tech.
Quarterbacks, all them.
And then why they never get drafted or they 7th round draft picks? Because their talent is not like that, okay? So that's one part. So Brock Purdy, to me, I don't think he's super talented. That's why he went so late in the draft, last pick in the draft, okay? But then he comes to the Niners.
Yeah.
And he proved a lot of people wrong. Like, I'm better than what you thought I was. Maybe I'm not as talented, but I am better than what you thought I was. Something the owner just said, though. He said, Brock's a top 10 quarterback, and we like him. But when you combine him with Kyle Shanahan, and you combine him with the team, he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't mind that take.
Don't mind that at all.
I don't mind it because now you adding the coach, and you adding the player and all that.
Doubt.
And then when I look at Brock Purdy, that makes sense because when I look at the stats, in 2022 he had 7 All-Pros. In 2023 he had 7 All-Pros. And he was 13-4, 12-5. NFC Championship game, Super Bowl. Makes sense. In 2024, he had 3 All-Pros. No playoffs, no NFC Championship game, no Super Bowl. 6-11. Oh, it makes sense. A guy that's not as talented that went the last pick in the draft because of his talent, right? Goes to a good team, but you combine him with a really good coach. You combine him with All-Pros, they win games. So when you talk about top 10, I look at top 10 as super elite talent or you're a winner that wins Super Bowls. Brock Purdy does not fit in that category. He doesn't, right? And when we talk about elite guys, I could drop you anywhere on this planet, anywhere on any team, and you're going to produce. I can't say that because when I watched Brock Purdy, because I thought already that most people thought, he has to be around a good supporting cast. When you take that supporting cast from around him, what does he give you? He gave you 6-11, no playoffs.
Yeah.
So when you talk about putting a guy top 10 and paying that type of money, that's why the issue's having it, though. The issue with him is you want to get paid top 3 money and you not really top 3, top 4, top 5.
So you said he's not a super elite winner, right? He was 17-4 his first 2 years, NFC Championship game, Super Bowl. How can you say that? Just because 1 year?
What I said to you was, I said, when you talk about
your top 10.
When you talk, you said I was top 10?
No, in your top 10.
Oof. What I'm saying is, for you to be considered a winner, we talking about winning some games. That's cute. We win Super Bowls. Either you win Super Bowls because you're a winner, or you elite of the league talent. And I feel like he don't fit nowhere in them categories. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Okay.
1,000%.
Okay. All right.
I think Brock Purdy's top 10. Okay. What I love about this conversation is it's simple, right? I'm not going to get all emotional because I just listen. I listen. Shady said top 10 for him is a super elite talent or that you win Super Bowls, close quote. Brock Purdy don't fit in that. Yeah. James Jones said for him, when I do quarterbacks, I go off when he's on the worst team in football, does he make them better? Will he make them better? Brock Purdy don't fit into that. That's not how I do top 10. I do top 10 in the system you are in. Let's remove the hypothetical. How well do you run in the system that you are in? For me to do top 10 based off James's, that's doing it hypothetically. Hey, if I put you on some arbitrary team with some arbitrary coach and an arbitrary roster, how would you arbitrarily play? I don't know. I know how Brock Purdy plays in the system that he's in. Shady's isn't as hypothetical, but Brock Purdy does not fit into Shady's. But I won't discredit how Shady contrives his top 10. There's no Webster dictionary of, hey, top 10 quarterbacks definition. But how I do it is based on the system you're in and the coach.
No. I got to get it.
How do you run your system? You're going to make me lose now. There's a reason why Jed York said what he said. Because Jed York probably agrees with 2.5. Like, you don't have to add Kyle Shanahan and add anybody else if you're just talking about the quarterback's talent alone. So there's a reason Jed York said what he said. But how I do my top 10 is different than how they do their top 10. I respect how they do their top 10. Right. I just don't agree.
So I'll be quick, James, because I don't want to get at him. Because so you said what the owner said. Because I was about to say, this ain't my word. The owner said combine them guys. But real quick, you said something about the system, right? You said something about the system.
Yeah.
So
run the system.
You play under some great coaches. Sean Payton, and Andy Reid. Andy Reid's the best. I played for Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. And I've seen the difference between system quarterbacks and top 10 legit quarterbacks. So Kevin Cobb, we got rid of Don McNabb and Kevin Cobb.
Paid him some money.
Andy Reid's system is the West Coast offense, right? A lot of short game, but some deep balls in there, but in the medium. But it's like we're not just trying to throw the ball deep like that. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to be precise, run the ball a little bit, precise some screens, be accurate, short passes. Well, that's what the system is. When you get a legit top 10 type quarterback, when we had Don McNabb and the Michael Vicks, now we taking shots deep. I'm like, since I've been as a rookie, I've been studying the West Coast offense and your system. And your system is precise passes, short, little passes and all that. Because you had an elite quarterback. Mm-hmm. And not to say anything wrong with Kevin Cobb, but he wasn't elite. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. He was a system guy. Now, if Kevin Kolb had all these great players around him, maybe, because he had some good stats too, though. That's why people want to draft. That's why people want to trade for Kevin Kolb, because he had great players around him, so he looked good in that system. But when you got somebody like a Patrick Mahomes, Michael Vick's, Dominic, we throwing the ball all across the field because they're not system guys. I think about when we talk about Brock Purdy, we look at the success he's doing in that system. I always think about, two more things. One is, if I had a great player in this system, what's it look like? Yeah. Now, Matt Ryan's probably better than Brock Purdy, right?
Of course.
In the system with Kyle Shanahan, what did he do?
MVP.
MVP. You get what I'm saying? Jimmy G, I think he's got awful. He took that team to the championship game in a Super Bowl under Kyle Shanahan. Imagine when you get a top 10 quarterback, what it looks like. And the last part with Brock Purdy is, just because we don't think that he's a legit top 10 dude, don't mean he's not a good player.
Nobody's saying
because he's a good player. But when we start talking about as players in the NFL, we are alphas. We compete. That's what we do. Since we've been in high school, I'm better than this kid across the street, and then you get to college and we compete. If you're competing with other quarterbacks, you're a defensive player, and you say, all right, am I going against Brock Purdy or am I going against the 49ers team? Yeah. Am I going against Brock Purdy? If I'm going against Josh Allen or I'm going against the Bills, like it's a different layer when we start talking about quarterbacks. A dude like Jordan Love might not get the same hype as Purdy, but it's 32 teams would love to take Jordan Love.
They did.
Before they take Brock Purdy.
They did. Really quick, because system quarterbacks, because that's what you and Chase continue to go back to. He runs his system really, really well. That makes him top 10. You're blessed to be in the system. I agree. Run your system how it's supposed to be ran. How many years do you need to run that system to be in the top 10? Is it 1? Is it 3? Is it 2? How many?
He was 17-4 in his first 2 years with a championship game appearance and a Super Bowl appearance.
So but how many years do you got to be in the system to be able to get into a top 10 conversation? Because Jimmy G ran that system very well and went to an NFC championship and a Super Bowl. And nobody
it didn't look the same.
Will put him in the top 10, Acho, because of system quarterback and players. You still wouldn't put him in the top 10, right? Why is it a question right now when we say Brock Purdy's contract is up and we can pay him right now, the window is open? Why is people saying why?
They know
and
why.
How much?
They know why.
Why didn't people say why and how much with Herbert? Why and how much with Love? Why are we saying that? Because you guys don't want to believe in the facts that he is not an elite quarterback. He is on an elite team, and he runs the system well. There's nothing against that. I hope the boy gets $69 million because I'm for the players. But at the same time, we're asking him questions because he's really not that dude. He's not. He has a really good system and a really good team. Alex Smith got with Andy Reid, and he played really well, and they won a lot of games and changed around the Kansas City Chiefs. Was he top 10? Sam Darnold had a dominant year last year in a phenomenal system.
Yes, he did.
With really good players around him and a really good team. Is he top 10? So all I'm saying is Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. But when you start talking top 10, let's not forget all the other stuff to why he was a 7th-round pick.
Hey, tell your wife you cook a dinner tonight. Wife, you cook a dinner tonight.
Ordering. Why these other quarterbacks are top 10?
That's a good point.
I'm saying.
That's a great point. I think when we talk about elite quarterbacks, for me, there's 4 to 5. Like I can't pour that second tier other than Stafford in elite quarterbacks. Like you're saying,
we're
elite
top 10.
But it's only the top 31%, James. And you even said I just don't know how you can say and sit here if they're not running the system. I mean, you want to compare him to Jimmy G on the field and on the film. It looks way different. Way different.
But the results are the same.
It doesn't matter. You're the biggest thing about how it looks. You're the biggest thing on how it looks.
I'm listening to you.
It looks way different. The way he throws the football in the intermediate throws, he runs Kyle Shanahan's system the best out of any quarterback that Kyle Shanahan's ever had, and it's not even close. That's why they're about to pay him the top 3 quarterback money.
Chase,
you know what I mean?
So you see how you can sit up here and say Brock Purdy's easily better than Jimmy G? Why? Because he throws the ball better. Because he does. That's what we telling y'all.
That's what we saying.
Different.
Can I say that, Shane?
That's what we're
saying. Why did you put Jimmy G in the top 10 quarterbacks?
If he ran it differently, right, like you're saying, well, because I think Brock Purdy averaged about 27 points a game. That's pretty good, though. What you think Jimmy G averaged a game?
Eye test, Shady. Eye test.
What you think Jimmy G? 20.7 a game? 27 points a game. They're the same.
Yeah.
And they say
no, they are not.
But you say it look different, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you put an elite quarterback over there, it's gonna look different.
But you know what's disrespectful, Chase? Because the eye test showed that Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Matt Carroll, Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell.
When does it matter when you get drafted if you're going to have good success?
That matters.
No, it doesn't. Tom Brady.
Gotta go to break.
Tom Brady.
When we return, Aaron Rodgers is not on the Steelers yet.
So you gonna not tell him the rules? You're not gonna tell him the rules?
But would Aaron Rodgers make Mike Tomlin a genius if he
What's Tom Brady rule? Nacho, never bring up.
It doesn't matter where you get drafted.
It does. It does. That's
Hey, for real, I don't know if this for me.
You said you ain't never drove one of these before.
Oh, shoot. I'm heavy. I'm going to break this.
And how long is the ride?
You're not going to fit.
You guys are athletes. Come on, you got this.
too far, too long.
How many G's did we fill today?
You're probably feeling maybe 2. It kind of collapses the lung. When you're in a turn, you can't really breathe in. It's kind of like a fighter pilot, you know, when they're like, tooth, tooth.
I'm just going to let y'all know right now, that's not for me.
Oh,
Hey, y'all see, I forgot it was buckled. I tried to get mine off like a real
Let me buckle it.
Let me get up out of here.
Chase, what you make of it yesterday, bro? INDYCAR.
That was one of the, if not the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. Like, to ride in a race car like that and to see the INDYCAR and the speed and the G's you feel and to hear all these experts talk about it to you before and then to actually go out there and do it. I mean, we hit 170 miles an hour. And, like, the turn, like, I was shaking after. Like, I was trying to go more laps. A lot of you guys were like, I'm done. I was trying to go more, though.
Yeah. I respect what those dudes go through to get ready for them races and all that and how tough it is now. But as for JJ, never again.
Why? Why, though? It's just one lap.
Never put a helmet on and slide in that car, and I can't move, and I don't have no control, and I'm already too big. I think they say the average size of weight is like 5'9", 155. Obviously, I'm way bigger than that. Never, ever again I will get in a car. But if y'all go, I'll support y'all, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
You didn't want to do it at first.
Like, it was cool.
You didn't want to do it
I
at
mean,
first.
you know, like, to be honest, man, I've been driving a lot of fast cars my whole life, so, you know, I was used to it. You get what I'm saying? You know, I was. I got a Urus. I got a Bentley, so I was used to it. And then my man, Scott Malone, he hit me up. You know what I mean? He was saying, hey, how'd it feel? Yeah. I said, bruh, you know, I respect what you do, but we can hang out on the weekends, homie.
There was, I can suggest, I've seen Shady in the hole versus Luke Kuechly.
Yes.
I've seen Shady in the hole versus Navarro Bowman. I've seen Shady in the hole versus Patrick Willis. I've seen Shady in the whole True Stories versus Thomas Davis, some of the greats of our generation, some of the greatest of all time. And in all those times, seeing Shady in the hole, I've never seen fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
Never. In my life had I seen fear.
It was fear
in his eyes.
Right.
Yesterday.
You never seen that fear in my eyes, huh?
Yesterday, when I looked at Shady McCoy,
It was.
right here, in his eyes, in the corneas, in the eye of the pupil.
He said cornea.
I had never seen more fear in a man's eyes than Shady with the helmet on. Hold on, Shady, you look nervous. But here's the crazy thing. So the universal signal in sports, if you want to break, is timeout. I don't think that exists in INDYCAR. No. Shady had his helmet on. It's a true story, y'all. Shady had his helmet on. I looked in his eyes. I said, is that fear that I see? And Shady said, hold on. It's a timeout. It's a timeout. I said, Shady, you can't call timeout. He said, timeout. He said, get me out.
They really did. Both you guys really sat in the car.
Why was that?
And then you got back up out of the car. Because you weren't comfortable.
So first of all,
because the fear.
Not the fear. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
They had me in the
claustrophobic.
Them guys were small. They little guys. I'm a big dude. You know what I mean? And I couldn't breathe. But once they let my helmet go a little bit, I could breathe. It was nothing.
When I knew Shady was scared.
And how you see my eyes? I had the shades on. Now you can see through the shades?
You have the shades on.
Man, look. What's that right there? Shades on, boy.
I saw the fear.
That boy was scared.
Why you got a beanie on?
Hey, Scotty, I told you I could do it, dog.
When we return, we're going around the facility, family. I've never seen fear. I've never, to this day. I don't think I'll see fear again. I don't think I'll see fear again. I saw fear yesterday. Hey, it's time to go around the facility, y'all. Steph Curry dropped, I think, 52 last.
But he did.
That's crazy.
I was like Steph Curry yesterday on the court.
What's up, beautiful people? It is time to go around the facility. My favorite part of the show. 3 different spots, 3 different conversations with the 3 different fellas. First up, Ben Johnson spoke about his quarterback, Caleb Williams. So, quarterback, let me speak to you, if I may. What does Caleb Williams do you think needs to improve on most as we head into year 2?
Year 2, I think this is the biggest jump. Physically, but most important, mentally for Caleb Williams. That's the name of the game for the Chicago Bears. We know what he can do physically. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen him do it. The biggest thing that I want to see out of Caleb Williams, how do you get in and out of the huddle? How do you get in and out of plays? How do you handle the offensive checks? How do you handle the teammates? How do you handle relationships? All that stuff matters. It's not just being a quarterback on the field, it's being a quarterback off the field. And with Ben Johnson, the new offensive coordinator, he's going to have a lot of those, hey, run, check to runs, which means, hey, if a strong safety's down on the left side and I got to go check, make sure we're getting the right check. You're running away from the strong safety. If I have a pass and I want to kill it, which means get to another run play, all right, hey, in too high safeties, people like to, you got to get to the run. We got to make these checks time and time again. He's got to figure out a way to get the football out of his hands and not take too many sacks. Mentally, though, for sure, that's the next step in his game.
Next step, let me take a couple steps over here next. Hey, Josh Allen coming off of an MVP season last year, but Bills general manager Brandon Beane was asked about the wide receiver room, and he said they wouldn't say they have needs necessarily. James, Josh Allen been given enough help?
What do you know exactly what he said? No. Josh Allen has 3 number 2s on his team. You got Josh Palmer, you got Keon Coleman, and you got Shakira. Okay. I believe they are all number 2 wide receivers. Can they turn into number 1s? Who knows? But right now, as we're talking today, they have 3 number 2s on their roster. They need to go get a bona fide number 1. You are picking in the draft at 30 at a prime position to go get you a big-time receiver, a number 1 wide receiver to put with Josh Allen. Don't have him every year going out here trying to make every single play in the passing game. I know you have James Cook, a really good running back, but in the pass game, let him just be able to drop back and say, hey, man, go get this rock. Hey, man, I trust you. It's one-on-one. Boom, boom, you run this. Let him do that. Get him a number 1 bona fide receiver in there to help him.
You said something historically in your experience that might contradict your take. You said that the best thing that Ted Thompson, God rest his soul, unless he's still, okay, yeah. You said the best thing he ever did for you was say, hey, we're not going to go get Randy Moss in free agency. Sure. We're going to instill our confidence in you. Last year, I think the Bills had the 28th or 29th pick, traded back, ended up getting Keon Coleman. Yeah. He's a number 1. Why not just believe in him and develop him to be a number 1?
I mean, he can be your number 1, but he's not a number 1 right now as we talk. Ted Thompson was able to tell that because we still had Donald Driver. We had a number 1. You do not have a number 1. Donald Driver, when I got there, was still playing at a Pro Bowl level. He was our number 1 wide receiver. And then when Donald got out of there, it was Greg Jennings. He was playing at a Pro Bowl. They don't have that right now to help Josh Allen. Go draft you one, and Keon Coleman could turn into that All-Pro or that Pro Bowl, and then the one you drafted could be your really good number 2, and you help Josh Allen. But right now, on the roster, I see a bunch of number 2 wide receivers, which is not bad. I was a number 2 wide receiver at times. Go out there and help him out, get him a big-time wideout.
Hey, Shady, help me out. I got to head over here because Steph Curry cooked yesterday, 52 points. I think another 10-plus three-point evening. Warriors ended up getting the dub on the back of Steph Curry's 12 made threes. Hey, how far to 5 can Steph actually take these Warriors?
See that form right there? That's Steph Curry form right there, dog. Finals. Yeah, I'm going to say it. The reason why is because they got that winning DNA. When Draymond Green a while ago said, you know what, we going to the finals. And everybody laughed like it was a joke. But when you're a champion, you know when you see championship DNA. And they got that. And they see that when they got Jimmy Butler. It's not a surprise they've been winning since Jimmy Butler got there. Steph Curry is still hot. And the last point is this. They're playing better defense now. Kuminga's back from injury. And I'm thinking about the farther you go in the playoffs, get to the finals, Jimmy Butler plays better in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So now Jimmy's playing well right now. He's going to play a little better in the playoffs. That's what he does every time he plays. If you don't believe me, ask Pat Riley and the Heat. They missed Jimmy Butler in the playoffs.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
That's very true.
I like what that Warriors got going on.
NBA Finals, a bold statement, but not a statement I can necessarily disagree with.
You can see it, though.
You can see it, no doubt about it. You've seen it before. You can see it again. Hey, when we return, Jerry Jones had the most interesting things to say about Micah Parsons' contract. He said, hey, I deal with the player, not the agent. I don't even know the agent's name. Micah then responded and said, I'm not doing a deal without my agent. Chaos brewing with the Cowboys. We got to unveil all of it. That's next.
Well, don't hate the player. Hate the game.
It's time for Big Ups, and today that goes to all the winners from day 2 in the college basketball crown. UCF Central Florida, that's Cincinnati and USC along with Villanova. They all won the first-round matchup and are moving on to the quarterfinals. Hey, speaking of quarterfinals, they start tonight. Butler taking on Boise, followed by Nebraska, Georgetown. The college basketball crown. 6:30 Eastern on FS1. Live sports, nothing like it.
Boise and Georgetown.
Georgetown, told y'all. Take Georgetown. You want to win, put money on Georgetown to win.
Hey, well, speaking of putting money on things, Jerry Jones is going to have to put a lot of money on Micah Parsons' name. They're talking contract extension. The craziest thing, in case you missed it, but in case you want more details, hey, Jerry said he agreed to a deal with Micah. That was the report. But Micah said, I ain't agreeing to no deal without my agent. Jerry responded, and honestly, just listen to it. Just listen.
As you know, it's not uncommon for me to negotiate directly with players, and I've done that. And so the agent is not a factor here of something to worry about. And I don't know his name. And so my point is that I'm not trying to demean him in any way, but this isn't about an agent. The agent doesn't have one thing to do with what we're doing when we get on a football field against a team. Micah does.
Micah does. You know what that sounds like, though? That sounds like my son talking to his friends. Like he got a car and all that. Yeah, Dad, we going skies off. Who taking you? You can't eliminate the man.
But you don't I guess you got to put yourself in Jerry's mind, though. Because Jerry, first of all, he's a billionaire. He's a little older. And I don't know if you have any older parents or older grandparents, but like, I was in the airport, I'm in an airplane, and like some older gentleman behind me was kept tapping me, right? I'm like, oh, maybe it's a kid, you know? Tap me again. I look back, and I'm about to yo, man, it's some older gentleman. He's like, hey, excuse me, can you move your chair up before we take off? That's what the rules are. I said, you're right, man. You're right. Son just tapped me, excuse me, right? Yeah. But he's older. That's how they talk. So put your old head ears on.
Put your older cap on.
I think what Jerry's saying is, hey, man, the agents don't really play no part in this. They ain't tackling. They ain't throwing. And the deal's going to be done when I give out the offer or whatever, and we negotiate, and the player says yes or no to it. I think that's what he's trying to say. He could have, kept out, I don't know his name and all that. I guess he's trying to be smart. But he got an ego. The dude's a billionaire. I mean, he does own the Cowboys. Jeez. So and then another thing, last thing is, Micah has a really, really good agent. You know, David's probably the best agent in football. So nobody likes somebody that gets all your money. You do a business deal, right? You want to make a good deal on both sides. The best deals in football are, I get something I want, but not all I want. You get something you want, but not all you want. That's a really good deal.
Mm-hmm. I hate how Jerry's handling all this, though, for several reasons. Number one, should have done the deal a long time ago. Do the deal before Max Crosby got $35 million, and for sure do the deal before Myles Garrett got $40 million. You could have done the deal during the course of the season.
Before you go, can I ask you? Because you didn't know both them dudes was going to get breaded, did you? Because both them dudes is under contract. One asked for a trade. Yeah. You know, one, Max came out and said they both was under contract.
It was pretty well known that Max was going to get it to keep him happy.
And 35 is cool. You didn't know.
No, I didn't know Myles was going to get 40. Now, what you can assume is somebody will, because somebody always get paid. But you should have done the deal a long time ago. But furthermore, Jerry Jones, you sound out of touch. You can be old, but be old and in touch. There's a lot of old football coaches that are still in touch with the times. You just sound out of touch. And also, if you're going to shade, I don't even know the dude's name. The dude is going to play a pivotal role in the contract negotiations. Again, the gentlemen that are married to my left and to my right, surely you'll have to make a lot of decisions in your household. Now, some decisions you probably make more than your significant other. Some decisions your significant other makes more than you, but you are never going to act as though you are excluding the person in their entirety, and you're not going to let a person who needs you to make a decision exclude that person. James, I know you paying the bills, big dog. You don't need to go check with your wife. Just buy the car right here. Sign the dotted line. You're not going to let them disrespect them like that. James, I know you, at the end of the day, you bringing it home to paper, so I know it don't matter. Whether right, wrong, indifferent, true, false, yes, Micah Parsons is playing. Yes, Micah Parsons is tackling. Micah Parsons is rushing. But David Mulugeta is an integral figure in how Micah Parsons got to this point. So you can't exclude the agent because, to me, it's just disrespectful. Everything Jerry's saying, kind of to Shady's point, is kind of right. I ain't saying he's wrong. It's just you can't say it like that.
I don't have any issue with it. I think this is just part of contract negotiations. Sometimes they get contentious, but it always gets done in Jerry's aspect. My thing with Jerry is you should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. And he says that we don't really care. We want to make sure it gets done the right way. Is this the right way? I don't know. If it gets done, sure, it'll end up being the right way. But this is always how Jerry has handled big contracts in the past. He's always taken his time. Now, we're talking about it today because he was disrespectful to David Mulugeta, for sure. I don't agree with that part. You do know his name. I have a hard time believing you don't. But every other time Jerry's done big-time contracts, this is what he does. He promises, hey, come play for America's team. This is the brand. Attach your brand to the star. Micah wants that. He's got all these things going outside of football. He wants that. We wouldn't be talking about like Micah like we would now if he was in Green Bay. And Mike is a legitimate superstar. So because Jerry came out and disrespected his agent, now we're talking about, I think in 2 months from now or a month from now, when it gets done, it's just going to be another one of those contracts that Jerry gets done. He is writing the check, remember, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Let's use another team other than Green Bay.
I will say this, though. In a contract, though, with big numbers and big players and all that, there's always this back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? And they always find some negative things to say about the player. You're like, I can't believe you saying I was the best player in your squad. Why are we? But once the deal gets done, Micah Parsons is going to hug Jerry Jones so tight, and it's going to be nothing that ever even happened. Jerry going to do the same thing. It always happens like this. That's why I was talking earlier, when we talk about these contracts, we got to keep in mind that guys like Aaron Donald went through these negotiations, right, where he had to hold out a little bit, okay? Yeah. T.J. Watt for the Steelers, you know what he brings to that team?
Yeah.
He sacked you and he's scoring touchdowns, right? And they still had to, we're not going to pay the money you want. So everybody goes to this.
No doubt. And not only that, though, we got to understand where Jerry Jones is coming from. Because you two to the right side of the table not married, right? So Jerry Jones is not married.
Well, I am married.
You are to the streets. So he ain't married to Mulugeta. So if you two went out right now and said, man, I'm getting this Bentley, and somebody came and said, no, I don't. I'm tired of even hearing your name and you even butting in my conversation with Micah at this point. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking to my player Micah. You stay over there. You understand what I'm saying? I don't owe you nothing, a conversation, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So Jerry, he sound irritated. Bring his name up again. Because I don't owe him nothing.
Let somebody try to interrupt me shopping.
Stop bringing Rolexes.
No doubt.
Don't be James. I know you about them Rolexes out there.
On the record, James. We got Bentleys already, dog.
You got Bentley. Good point. Might be another one. You don't know.
Save your money.
Aaron Rodgers, will he make Mike Tomlin look like a genius for waiting on him? That's next. Talk to him, Shady. Let him know. Hey, Steelers are still playing the waiting game on Aaron Rodgers. Mike Tomlin said that there is no deadline, but that the Steelers owner said they keep hearing Rodgers is headed in their direction. And all signs so far are positive. James Jones, you know Aaron Rodgers, you know him well. Mike Tomlin, he's been waiting for a long time, but Aaron Rodgers could remedy all this by playing well this season with the Steelers. You think Rodgers makes Tomlin look like a genius when it's all said and done?
My hands are sitting up here today right now, no. The only ones that look like geniuses right now is Sean McVay, Andy Reid, and Nick Sirianni. Because one traded for a quarterback in Matthew Stafford, won a Super Bowl. One drafted a guy, won Super Bowl, been to 7, 8 of them. All right? And then Nick Sirianni just won one with Jalen Hurts. Those are the only ones that look like geniuses. All the other ones, the Lamar Jacksons and Josh Allens, no. All right? The Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot of holes on their roster. It's going to be very hard for my dog Aaron Rodgers to come in there and make somebody look like a genius. And the only way you look like a genius is if you're holding up that Lamar Joe. I wouldn't even say holding it up. Get there. As if you get to the Super Bowl. And I think that's going to be hard for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers to get there.
Before Chase goes real quick, wait, the Bills ain't geniuses?
No.
You went to Wyoming.
Where they been?
I don't know.
They ain't been to no Super Bowl.
You say a quarterback from Wyoming that went to freaking JUCO. They had no scholarships.
Yeah.
And he's this good?
Yeah, no doubt. And Aaron Rodgers went to JUCO, too.
He was a team.
Did go to JUCO.
He had a long time ago. He went to Cal with Cal coaches, with NFL coaches. You know, NFL coaches going to Wyoming?
Oh, that's cool. Have the Bills look like geniuses? So we just saying any draft pick that's good
go out there and get
like a genius?
To go out there and get a quarterback for your franchise like Josh Allen?
Josh was good.
Real quick, if you tell me I'm going to go out here and get a guy from Wyoming that don't have no crazy stats, nothing like that.
Stop worrying about the college, dog. Josh is good, dog.
Dude, yeah, I think the Bills look like geniuses. But will Aaron Rodgers make Mike Tomlin look like a genius? No. I don't know if you can say that because, and in fact, I am saying that because it's a one-year rental, regardless of what you've done, or what you do. I don't think this is a franchise quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for years to come, it's a Band-Aid. It's a one-year fix. And honestly, we've talked about it a lot on the show, is that Mike Tomlin's sort of downfall, he has not found a quarterback to develop after Ben Roethlisberger. They've been through the ringer with these guys. I expect the offense to be better with Aaron Rodgers. They need to figure out the run game. I like Jalen Warren, but they got DK Metcalf, George Pickens. They have good tight ends.
They got a good tight end.
Offensive line play, it actually sets up well for Aaron Rodgers with how quickly he gets the ball. If they can figure out that defense, I do think they could be a playoff team. But to say he looks like a genius, when quite honestly, my biggest question is, why hasn't he signed yet? Why hasn't he signed, right? The owner even said yesterday, we keep getting positive sort of signals about it. What are you waiting on, Aaron? Like, the Vikings told you they don't want you. You're holding out hope for that. Does he even want to play? Maybe, like, this is your best bet to play and to make the playoffs this year, Aaron Rodgers.
He waiting when he ready.
I just don't think that we talking about making him a genius, but like he's not even a Steeler yet. I mean, like he's not even a Steeler yet, so I don't know if he's gonna make Tomlin a genius. He's not even a Steeler. And on top of that, we talk about Aaron Rodgers like it's the old Aaron Rodgers. He's not that, man. He hasn't been good since he left Green Bay. In his last year in Green Bay, he was not that good. Then you go to the Jets, and all this stuff is promised, right? And all you give them was, 5 wins? Get them dudes 5 wins last year, man. They gave him $75 million. He's not the same Aaron Rodgers. And on top of that, when you was at your best MVP, Aaron Rodgers, you only been to the Super Bowl once. And I got me a text message from my guy, Keyshawn Johnson. He said, Shady McCoy, you are a genius. Thank you, Keyshawn.
No, you're not. Oh, my gosh. He's got lying this morning.
Is that too early?
Too early.
Hey, when we return, Nick Sirianni has been speaking a lot at the podium right now.
He's a winner!
But does he get enough credit? That's next.
Yeah, Nick. He might get that money.
Oh, yeah. Nick Sirianni coming off a Super Bowl win, but he's entering the final
Confetti!
of his contract. Now, remember, last time the Eagles had a coach win a Super Bowl, they kind of let him go 2 years later. Is the same going to be for Nick Sirianni? No. Jeffrey Lurie said he's done an outstanding job, and he's going to be their coach going forward. Shady, does Sirianni get
top three?
Does he get enough credit?
Ain't 3 or 3?
He's top 3 in the league right now.
Where you rank him?
He's real quiet.
Any reason 1?
Who's 2?
I just said top 3. I ain't really.
I ain't doing that thinking.
Well, top 3, you shouldn't even argue. I'm top 3, but he is that good, though. All he does is go to playoffs and win games. That's all he does. And he wins Super Bowls now. And they're going back. Yeah, and they're going back. As a head coach, you got to be able to manage the team. He does that so well. All the chaos about the quarterback, the wide receiver, this, that, and third, and all he does is win. So
it is fair. He's top 4, but if you want to say he's top 3, I think you got no order.
You better not do it.
You got Nick.
You better not do it.
Sean.
See.
Sean McVay with him?
Yep.
Okay.
You got Andy. You got Kyle.
I knew you were going with Kyle.
Yo.
No.
I don't know. Kyle falling off a little bit.
Kyle 0-3.
Everybody you just named, you know what they have in common? A Super Bowl.
Yes.
He don't have that. He don't know what it looked like.
0-3.
Sure, but Kyle has been. Kyle been twice in 4 years.
He don't know what it smelled like.
He know what it smell like. You know what it smell like.
He don't know what it tastes like. You got glasses on? Because he don't know what it looked like.
No, that is funny. When Shady said top 3, I was like, what Nick Sirianni did holding that team together last year, kudos. Yeah. Kudos. Like, I don't care about X's and O's. What Nick Sirianni did, I don't care about it as a motivator. When you got all those talent, all that ego, all that persona, like keeping that on the tracks, he liked that.
Yeah, he does not get enough success. And quite honestly, I was harsh on him last year. And rightfully so. When they were 2-2, they were doing things that were not smart. And they were 2-2 for a reason. It wasn't all because of Nick Sirianni, but there were some strategic decisions that he stood behind that they were 2-2. And now they roll off, I think, 16 of the next 17 games, won a Super Bowl. So I do think he's going to be there long term. And so often in today's game, there's so many okay, you're an offensive coach. You're a defensive coach. Yes, he has an offensive-minded guy. But when he gave away those duties of calling plays and when he gave away the defensive coordinator position to Vic Fangio, he had to take a step back and manage the team. And he managed it so well. We forget so much about the leadership aspect of a head coach and the mental aspect of the head coach. He was able – I feel like we were talking about the Eagles all the time last year for non-on-field stuff. Yeah. It was all off-the-field stuff. And for him to be able to keep that team together and to host
and who he did it with. Because Fangio, he got fired, right? He got fired from Miami. They didn't want him. And then your quarterback or your coach that you love,
Gilmore.
Yeah, he's okay. He's been good everywhere. Not like great. You come to the Eagles and you make them champions.
Yeah,
Come on now.
He don't get enough respect. And the main reason he don't get enough respect because you always want to bring up he don't call plays, he don't run the offense, he don't do this, he don't do that.
Which is not true.
We worried about him waving at the crowd. We worried about him doing all this type
Shaving
of
his
stuff.
head.
But Nick Sirianni is a legit coach. Now you can say that one of the best coaches in football.
Top 4.
And he is absolutely disrespected. And number one, he wins a lot of games and he loses a lot of coaches and he keeps winning.
It don't
You know what I'm
matter.
saying? No, but for real though.
Kellen Moore, we ain't gonna miss him.
But if
Another
you have a
championship
really
away.
good coach that's able to keep that together, and when these other coaches come in, like, bro, I know that you want to put your own niche on certain stuff and all that, but we got our own niche here. And this is how it's going to go. And I promise you, if you follow us, even if we use the tush push, you're going to get a head coaching job. So just follow me, and I'll take you there.
And low key, he helping careers out.
He is.
All these coordinators I keep talking
He got
about.
a coaching tree now.
He's got a coaching tree.
I don't know how well they do if Nick won in their lives. I'm going to keep it real.
He's got a coaching tree.
And look at our coordinators right now. For sure, he helped them dudes out.
Now, his coaching tree does need to be successful.
Still, though. He
Got one. He got one. They just ain't really
Well,
like
hold
it.
on.
Gannon, Kellen
They ain't
Moore.
done nothing.
But still, they're
Yeah, but they exist.
Well, Vic, would you say Vic has been like a great dude?
Big Banjo?
Yes.
Now with the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
But with the Broncos,
Kellen Moore, not as a head coach.
No, but I'm saying as a
saying.
defensive play caller.
Oh, defensive mind. Vic is
Unbelievable.
crazy.
But they say,
Crazy.
Mahomes won't say that.
Come on. Hey, it's time for Blitz Meeting. Steph Curry, he dropped 52 last night and the Warriors win. But on the flip side, Nikola Jokic, 61-point triple-double in the double overtime loss to the Timberwolves. Shady, who was more impressive last night, the Joker or Steph Curry?
That ain't the beat, though, you on, though.
Oh, I can't dance because I ain't athletic. Anyway, Steph Curry, the best player of all time. Listen, one guy lost last night.
Yes.
The other guy won last night.
Duh.
What are we talking about?
It wasn't close. Jokic, a 61-point triple-double.
Yep.
61. He had
Great way to
more
lose.
points, Plus, he had more boards. Plus, he had more.
I look good. That's how you lose. If you want to lose like that.
more of
If
everything.
you want to lose like that.
Who won? Steph Curry. That's my pick. 12 3-pointers. Come on, man.
Joe.
You're messing up our
Steph
sleep,
Curry was
bro.
more impressive. And the main reason why Steph was more impressive is they was picking up Steph Curry from half
Right.
to full
What were they
court.
doing to Jokic?
Hold on. Nah, they was not picking
What were
him
they
up
doing
from
to
full
Jokic?
court.
Of course
And
not.
then once he crossed, they was doubling and triple teaming. But the most impressive thing is these dudes be having wide open layups and they be the 3 balls easier than this layup and finding Steph. Come on, bro. Come on,
can't believe it.
Boy, Westbrook missed
Your man had a lot of one-on-ones yesterday, too.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, moving on.
Rudy is
Hey,
weak. Ruined it.
speaking of the NBA, SGA, he got the best odds to win MVP right now, but given Jokic having the most impressive game last night, does SGA need an MVP performance
Young
tonight?
G's is locked up.
Locked up.
And they won't let him know. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm a big no.
His best guy's going against him this loss last night.
Punt the key.
SGA got number 1 seed, man. It's locked up.
Don't mess it up again.
Jokic had a 61-point triple-double. He's top 3 in assists. He's top 3 in steals. He's top 3 in boards. He's top 3 in points.
All that to lose.
SGA better show up.
No, the key is locked. Yeah. Punt the thing.
Shea got the most 20-point games, the most 30-point games, the most 40-point games, and the most 50-point games in
And
the
the number
league.
1 seed.
And the number 1 seed.
That's not even
It
impressive.
is Shea.
If you're Elon Musk, I'm sure you have the most 10s and the most 20s and the most 30s and the most 40s and the most
What has
50s.
that got to do
Elon
with
Musk got the
this?
most hundreds and the most thousands. Y'all
What
just gave
does
me
that have to
y'all
do
gave me the
with
same
this?
thing
Oh,
said differently.
Back-to-back.
Y'all gave me the same thing.
What does
said
that have to
differently.
do with this?
What y'all said
Politics up, man.
don't even make any
Messed
sense.
it up.
Hey, moving on. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said he's heard from a lot of players that want to participate in flag football in the 2028 Olympics that will be in Los Angeles. Shady, what player are you most excited to see play flag?
The most elusive, the fastest, the quickest, Tyreek Hill.
Reek.
Yeah, not a bad answer.
Great answer. I'm going with Tyreek as well.
Cheetah. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
I am going with Bucky Irving. I'm in this flag football world. You need speed and you need agility. Shady, my little homeboy, little Bo
He's not
Jones.
up here.
You might like this, but this is the tape right here. Put your foot in the ground. You need speed, but watch the move though, Shady.
That's a
And downhill. You need speed.
Who is that?
That's Bo.
That's his son. Yo, that's what I
You
will
need
say.
speed.
He don't like his daddy.
Look at this one, no. Gotta go this way. Let's go back across the field. Look like a little Shady.
Wait.
Let's get on back, Bobby. Let's go on back.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Tink,
way.
tink. You got it.
That's cheating. That's cheat code right there.
He gonna be something special.
That's unbelievable.
Let me get my hands on him. Pause. I gotta get him right on.
What are we doing?
Yep. That is not James' son. Yes, it is.
Look at all those kids chasing after him.
So you need speed, you need agility and flag, and that's why I said
where he learned how to run, because you said James run like this.
Yeah, right.
James, little James, though.
He got that from his daddy, man.
At least he got a good vertical.
That's it for us.